God sent a chariot with horses to get Elijah. Horses made entirely of fire. Angels fly on their own. They never need horses. But God attached horses to this chariot anyway. The Bible only shows horses when battle is coming. Kings ride them to fight. Revelation describes Jesus returning on a war horse to destroy armies. But Elijah was going to heaven, not to war. Ancient texts say fire horses carry soldiers between realms only when judgment is near. If war horses took Elijah up, what war is he preparing for? We'll show you what happened in those final moments when the war horses arrived and what it revealed about Elijah's mission. The war horses we mentioned, they hadn't arrived yet. But Elijah already knew they were coming. Two men walked toward the river. Elijah's hands still bear scars from grabbing burning wood at Mount Carmel. 3 years in the wilderness left deep lines around his eyes, his sandals worn through at the heels. He moves like a man who's walked too far for too long. Elisha follows half a step behind. His tunic soaked through with sweat, even though the morning air feels cold. His legs shake, not from the walk, from what's coming. 50 prophets watch from a distant hill. They point, whisper. Their voices carry on the wind. One of them calls out across the distance.
Elisha, do you know what the Lord will do to your master today?
Elisha stops walking. His jaw clenches. His hands curl into fists.
Yes, I know. Now be quiet.
His voice cracks on the last word. He doesn't want to hear it spoken. Doesn't want it to be real. If no one says it out loud, maybe his master stays. Elijah glances back at him. Says nothing at first, but his eyes say everything. They both know. The prophets know. Even the wind seems to know. Today is the last day.
You're afraid.
Terrified.
Good. Fear means you understand what's at stake.
They walk in silence. Each step brings them closer to the impossible. Elisha wants to ask questions. How do you know it's today? What will happen? Where will you go? But his throat closes around the words. Some questions don't have answers that help. The Jordan appears ahead. Brown water churning fast. Deep enough to drown in. Wide enough that throwing a stone wouldn't reach the other side. No boats wait at the shore. No bridge crosses it. Just rushing water and the impossible task of getting across. Elijah stops at the water's edge. For a moment, nothing moves. Then he reaches up, unfastens his cloak. That cloak, worn, patched, stained with smoke and dirt and years of prophetic work. He rolls it tight, every movement deliberate, slow, like he's done this 1,000 times in his mind, but never with his hand.
You've never done this before.
Number. But God said it would work. That's enough.
The prophets on the hill lean forward, breath held, waiting. Elijah raises the rolled cloak high, then slams it down onto the water. The river explodes apart. Water erupts upward, crashes to both sides, stands up like glass walls, straight up. The riverbed turns to cracked mud, rocks, fish flopping and gasping for water that now hangs suspended above them. The prophets on the hill collapse to their knees, hands over their mouths. Some weep. They've read about Moses doing this, about Joshua, but reading and seeing are different things entirely. Elijah steps onto dry ground between the walls. Elisha follows. His legs nearly give out. He can see through the water walls. Fish swimming, suspended, Light bending through liquid that should be falling, but stands frozen by God's word. They walk across. Mud cakes their sandals. The walls of water tower above them. One word from God, and those walls collapse. One word, and they drown. But the walls hold. Each step feels heavier than the last. Not from the mud, from the weight of goodbye. They reach the other side, stand on the eastern bank. Behind them, the water walls still stand, trembling, waiting for permission to fall. The mystery deepens with every step. Why part the river for a final walk? Why make it public? Why let everyone see? Because what comes next needs witnesses, needs proof, needs men who can say, "We saw it," all of it, every impossible moment. The water crashes back together. The sound explodes across the wilderness. Fish swim again. The river flows like nothing happened. Now they stand alone. Eastern bank, just master and student. The real test begins. Elijah turns. His eyes lock on Elisha. When he speaks, his voice sounds tired, almost sad.
What do you want? Before I go, ask me.
The question hangs heavy as stone tablets. Elisha could ask for gold, land, safety, a long life, protection from Jezebel's spies who still hunt prophets in the night. Anything. His answer erupts before he can stop it.
I want a double portion of your spirit.
Silence slams between them. Even the wind dies. Elijah's eyes go wide. His mouth opens, closes. No one has ever asked for this. Not more than the master. Double. The firstborn's inheritance. The main heir's portion.
You've asked a hard thing. A very hard thing.
He looks at Elisha for a long moment, studies his face like reading a scroll, searches for doubt, for fear, for second thoughts, finds none.
I can't give what isn't mine to give. Only God decides this. But I'll tell you the test. If you see me when I'm taken from you, it will be granted. If you don't see it, it won't be.
Elisha nods. His jaw sets. The weight of it crushes down on him. Everything depends on watching, on not missing the moment. 1 second of distraction and he loses everything.
Then I will watch. I will not look away.
They start walking again, deeper into wilderness, away from the river, away from the watching prophets. Just the two of them under an open sky that grows warmer with every step. Elisha moves closer now, so close he could grab his master's cloak if needed. That cloak, still draped over Elijah's shoulders, the symbol of everything he is, everything he's done, everything Elisha wants to become. What Elisha doesn't know yet, that cloak will fall. When the moment comes, when fire horses tear through the sky, when wind seizes the prophet, the cloak drops, and only the one who saw everything, who kept his eyes open through the impossible, will know to pick it up. The air continues heating, like standing too close to a furnace. The sky shimmers, distorts. Something builds in the atmosphere, something massive, something that defies nature. Elisha's hands tremble. His heart pounds so hard it hurts. Sweat runs down his back, despite the fact that moments ago he was cold. His throat goes dry. His eyes water from staring without blinking. But his gaze never leaves Elijah's back, never shifts to the strange heat building around them, never drops to check his footing on the rocky ground. The test has begun. The mystery is about to shatter wide open, and nothing will ever be the same. The air stops being air, becomes heat, thick heat, the kind that makes lungs work twice as hard for half the breath. Elisha feels it first on his neck, like standing too close to a blacksmith's forge. Then on his face, his arms, his chest. The temperature climbs and doesn't stop climbing.
Master, what's happening?
The moment we've been walking toward.
The heat. I can barely breathe.
Then breathe through it. Keep your eyes open. Remember the test.
I'm trying, but
Not trying, doing. There's a difference.
The sky changes color. Blue fades to white. White bleeds into gold. Gold burns into something that has no name. The air itself seems to catch fire. Then they hear it. Not thunder, not wind, something else. Something that sounds like 1,000 war drums and 1,000 trumpets and 1,000 horses charging all at once. The sound grows louder, crashes down from above. Elisha's hands fly to his ears.
What is that sound?
Heaven's cavalry! Keep watching me! Don't look up!
but the noise.
I said watch me. Whatever happens, keep your eyes on me.
The sky tears open, not like clouds parting, like fabric ripping, like the barrier between heaven and earth getting shredded by something forcing its way through. Fire pours out of the tear, not falling, descending, controlled, shaped, moving with purpose. Horses made entirely of flame, eyes that burn like stars, breath that comes out as lightning, hooves that leave scorch marks in the air itself. 4 of them, massive, muscles rippling under fire skin, manes flowing like lava. Elisha's mouth falls open.
Horses. Fire horses.
War horses.
I don't understand. Angels don't need horses.
These aren't for angels.
Then who?
For warriors. Heaven's warriors.
But horses don't make sense. The Bible only shows horses when battle comes. Kings ride them to war. Revelation describes Jesus returning on a war horse to destroy armies. Zechariah saw colored horses patrolling earth for combat, yet here they are, war horses, attached to a chariot that blazes brighter than the sun at noon. The chariot descends. Wheels of fire, frame of fire, reins of fire, everything burning but nothing consumed. The same fire that spoke to Moses from the bush, the same fire that consumed Elijah's sacrifice on Mount Carmel. Elisha's mind explodes with understanding.
You're not going to rest. You're going to fight.
The final battle is coming. Someone has to prepare.
The chariot slams down between them. The impact cracks the ground. The horses snort flames, stamp hooves that turn rock to glass beneath them. Heat radiates out in waves so intense that Elisha's beard starts to singe. The fire horses reveal everything. God sent war mounts because Elijah remains a warrior prophet. Death doesn't end his mission. Heaven doesn't mean retirement. One of the horses turns its burning eyes toward Elisha. The message is clear. Watch, remember, tell them what you saw. Think about Elisha's test. Keep your eyes open through impossible heat, through sky-tearing sound, through horses made of fire. Look away once and he loses everything. Here's something interesting. When we say we're ready for hard truth, our minds focus better. If you're willing to keep watching with Elisha, write I'm ready to hear below. Small thing, but it helps. The chariot is here. Now comes the moment that breaks him. The chariot waits, burning, ready. But something else comes first. Wind. It starts gentle. A breeze that feels cool against the scorching heat from the fire horses. Almost a relief. Then it grows. The breeze becomes a gust. The gust becomes a gale. The gale becomes something that has no word. Wind that pulls at clothes, rips at hair, tears at skin. Elisha drops to his knees, grabs a boulder with both hands, fights to keep his head up. Sand and dust explode into the air. Rocks tumble past. Small stones become weapons that cut like knives.
I can't hold on.
Yes, you can.
The wind, it's too strong.
Keep your eyes open. Don't you dare look away.
The whirlwind forms, spins, grows bigger than houses, bigger than hills. A column of spinning air that touches heaven and earth at the same moment. Inside it, the world dissolves into chaos. Elisha's eyes water. Burn. Every instinct screams to close them, to turn away. But through the tears and dust, he watches Elijah. The old prophet doesn't fight the wind, doesn't grab for rocks. He stands, calm, like greeting an old friend.
Tell them what you see. Tell them all of it.
No, not yet. I'm not ready.
You asked for the double portion. This is what it costs.
Don't leave me.
I am not leaving you. I'm going ahead. You'll follow one day.
He takes one step toward the whirlwind, then another. His feet leave the ground. The fire horses leap upward. The chariot follows. Elijah rises with them, higher, higher. The whirlwind wraps around him like a protective hand. The fire blazes brighter. Elisha sees it all. Eyes burning, face bleeding from wind-driven sand, hands cramping from gripping stone. But he sees every second, every impossible moment.
My father, the chariots of Israel and its horsemen.
The words rip from his throat. Not planned, not rehearsed, just truth pouring out. Elijah was worth more than any army, more than chariots, more than warriors. One prophet speaking God's words did more than 1,000 soldiers with swords. The sound roars like the voice of God. The earth shakes. Cracks splinter through rock. The sky above burns with light that shouldn't exist. Why did God make it so public? Why this display of fire and wind and power? Because the witnesses matter. Because Elisha needs to know. Because death needs to understand it has limits. Elijah never died. Death couldn't touch him. God reached down and took him before death could make a claim. The fire and wind prove something. Total trust in God breaks every natural law. The prophet rises higher, through clouds, through sky, through the barrier between earth and heaven. Soon, just a point of light, then smaller, then gone. The whirlwind collapses. Silence crashes down like a physical weight. Elisha kneels alone, face bleeding, hands shaking, eyes burning, but he saw it, all of it. The test is passed. The chariot doesn't slow down, explodes through clouds, through sky, through something that feels like passing through water made of light. Then it stops, sudden, complete. Elijah steps down, His sandals touch ground that shouldn't exist, ground made of something harder than stone but clear as glass. He looks down, can see through it. Galaxies spinning beneath his feet, stars being born, worlds turning. He's still wearing his earthly clothes, patched tunic, worn belt, dust from the Jordan riverbank still on his sandals. He looks at his hands, scarred, calloused, human hands. His body hasn't changed. He's not an angel, not a spirit, just a man who walked into heaven alive. The fire horses stand beside the chariot, eyes still burning, but calmer now. They lower their heads, bow. Then Elijah sees them, angels, thousands of them, tens of thousands, filling the throne room in ranks that stretch beyond sight. Warriors, each one holding weapons that make earthly swords look like children's toys. Their wings don't move, but somehow they hover. Wait, watch. An angel steps forward, taller than 3 men. Armor that gleams like captured lightning.
Elijah, prophet, servant, welcome home.
I'm still human.
Yes, like Enoch before you.
Why? Why didn't God transform me?
Because the mission requires it. You'll understand soon.
The angels part, create a path. At the end of that path, light. Not sunlight, not firelight, something brighter, purer. Light that doesn't hurt to look at, but burns away everything false. Elijah walks forward. Each step feels heavier than the last. Not from exhaustion, from the weight of glory pressing down. This is the place where fire was born, where the first word was spoken, where everything began. He reaches the end of the path, falls to his knees. Can't help it. Can't stand in this presence. A voice speaks, not loud, gentle, but it shakes every foundation.
You called down my fire on Mount Carmel.
I did.
You stood alone when everyone else bowed to Baal.
You gave me strength.
Now I give you a new assignment.
Elijah lifts his head, tries to see through the light. Can't. But he feels the weight of what's coming.
What would you have me do?
Prepare. Train. Wait. The final battle approaches.
Final battle? Against who?
Against the same enemy you've always fought. But this time, you'll fight beside my son when he returns.
When?
When the fire horses carry all my warriors to victory. You were the first. You won't be the last.
The revelation crashes over him. The war horses make sense now. He wasn't taken to heaven to rest. He was taken to prepare. Death ended his earthly mission, but heaven begins his eternal one. All around the throne room, angels raise their weapons. The sound rings like thunder, like a promise, like a declaration of war against everything that stands against God. Elijah came home, but home is the war room, and the war is coming. Something falls from the sky, slow, floating, like a feather drifting on wind that no longer exists. The cloak. Elisha watches it descend. His eyes follow every movement. The same eyes that watched his master disappear. The same eyes that passed the test. Now they track this falling piece of cloth that means everything. It lands at his feet. softly. Barely makes a sound. Just fabric hitting dirt. Elisha stares at it. Doesn't move. Doesn't breathe. This isn't just cloth. This is the symbol of prophetic power. The mantle of authority from God. The proof that what he saw was real. Silence crushes down around him. No wind, no fire, no sound at all. Just emptiness where moments ago chaos ruled. The silence feels loud, heavy, like it has weight, like it's waiting for something. His hands shake as he reaches down. Fingers touch the fabric, still warm. Not from the sun, from the fire horses, from heaven itself.
I saw it. All of it. Just like you required.
The silence doesn't answer. But something shifts in it. Something speaks without words. The same voice that spoke to Elijah at Mount Horeb in a quiet whisper. The same voice that doesn't need thunder to be heard. You are not alone. The work continues. The power remains. Elisha picks up the cloak, heavier than it should be. Or maybe his arms just feel weak. He stands, looks back toward the Jordan River. The water flows normal again. Fast, deep, no path across. He starts walking. Each step feels like the first step of the rest of his life. The prophets on the distant hill watch, waiting to see what happens next.
If the spirit of Elijah rests on me, if the double portion is real, then let it be proven now.
He reaches the riverbank, the same place Elijah stood, the same water that parted once already today. He rolls the cloak tight, just like his master did. His hands remember watching, remember every movement. He raises it high.
Where is the Lord, the God of Elijah?
Then he slams the cloak down onto the water. Nothing happens. For one terrible heartbeat, nothing happens. The water keeps flowing, keeps rushing past, and Elisha's heart stops. Then the river explodes apart. Water erupts to both sides, stands up like glass walls. The riverbed turns to dry ground. Rocks, mud, the exact same miracle, the exact same power. The prophets on the hill see it. All 50 of them. They collapse to their knees, then rise, come running down the hill, racing toward him. They reach him, all of them, bow down, faces to the ground. The transfer is complete, witnessed, confirmed, sealed by miracle. Elisha looks at the cloak in his hands, then at the parted water, then at the bowing prophets. The silence spoke truth. He is not alone. The work continues. The power remains. And somewhere in heaven, war horses wait, ready, prepared, until the day they come again. Those fire horses are waiting to come back. But when? How do we know? Prophets wrote about 7 clear signs that show the time is near. Real things happening now. A nation reborn. Wars everywhere. Hearts growing cold. False teachers rising. Every single sign is showing up right now. Want to see all 7? Click on the video being displayed on your screen to discover when those fire horses return.